Hey everyone, so today we are going live with Garima Kapoor, that is the founder of Plantables. So today is all about the sustainable business. That is, so basically, a sustainable business is a kind of a green business which either adds a positive impact or lessens the negative impact on a society, environment, or a community. So, the basically this is our founders series, and we will be talking with different founders and just understand about their entrepreneurial journey, how they started their business, what inspired them to do so. And yeah, so waiting for Garima to join us. So Garima Kapoor, she's founder of Plantables. They sell paper seed products. That is, these are the kind of products when, let's say, for example, I have personally used a product. Let's say it's a pen. Once you are done with using the pen or the pencil. You just repot it, and a plant will grow out of it. So it's completely recyclable and definitely adds to the positive impact on the environment. So yeah, where is Garima? Hi. So what do you guys think of about the sustainable business? Yeah, so Garima has joined. Hi Garima.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So nice of you to join us.
Thank you. Thank you for connecting. So nice to see you again.
Yeah. So I was just saying that you are in a sustainable business, and it's a seed product basically, right? Paper seed product.
Yeah.
And yeah, so over to you. I would like to know more about your journey. So I think let's start with in a very structured format. So just tell me, Garima, what do you feel is an entrepreneur?
So Ami, I've like there can be various answers to this question really. But For me, being like an entrepreneur, somebody who's um ready to explore and like ready to experiment. There's a certain thrill behind the whole idea of like doing something on your own, like building something from scratch. There are so many parameters that you have to, get a hang of, learn. Like there are so many activities that you have to learn, which are so different from what you're basically trained in, and like you have to be ready for like absolutely anything. That comes out your way. And also, there's this responsibility of the people that you are building this thing with. And, it's like you slowly build up a family as you build a business, and the business becomes your baby. So it's like a mixed emotional journey, but it's also quite thrilling, and it's also quite interesting. And it's always lovely when we get to meet so many beautiful people, interesting people like you, when we are on this journey of, building something from scratch like this.
Sure. I mean, just listening to you talk, I am missing the IMD days. So, yeah. So, rightly said, it's thrilling and really exciting, and a lot of new things, which obviously, you don't really foresee. You just have to deal with it as and when they come. So, when did your entrepreneurial journey start, and how did you, like, do you have a background in a sustainable business? How did you like think about starting this plantable business, or basically what inspired you to get into this line of business? Because it's really
So
still it is a niche market.
it is. It is. Although it's becoming
Yeah.
quite mainstream now, which is good. This basically started very organically. It started from our own wedding. So my husband, Sumat, who's also my partner and co-founder at Plantables. So Sumat and I were looking for wedding cards for our own wedding in 2016. And there were not a lot of good options at that time, and we wanted something eco-friendly. We didn't want to go with some standard wedding cards that were there in the market at that time. And so we finally ended up making our own wedding cards. So Sumit also has he also has a packaging unit. So he had some idea about working with paper and printing and all those aspects which are related to paper-based products. So we ended up making our own wedding cards using vegetable seed paper, which was
Wow.
paper made out of upcycled cotton. So that is waste cotton that is left out from industries. And that cotton is used to make handmade sheets with seeds embedded in them. So our wedding card had seeds of tomato, chili, and other vegetables embedded in them. And it was a big hit, like, and needless to say, like all our family and friends and all the relatives were like super impressed with the whole idea. And we used to get images of relatives growing tomatoes and chilies out of our wedding cards. So it was a beautiful experience. And then we got thinking, like, this is something that was so difficult to do at that time. And like, we didn't have a lot of options. And maybe there are other people who are looking for such options. And we, both of us, liked playing around with design, with content, and with tech, basically. So I have a background in marketing and communications and digital marketing. And Sumit has a background in, like, he is an entrepreneur. He has been a part of various startups, and he's helped various tech startups also in setting up their brands and setting up their websites and portals like that. So combining all these things together, we kind of started off with Plantables in 2018. So it was like about 3 years after our wedding, after multiple years of research and trying around with different concepts in this field, we came up with some steps and some ways of making this more attractive, like not just regular screen printed stuff which was there in the market at that time, but just making the products more attractive and more appealing to our generation and our kind of our friends and people like us who are looking for these things but don't have it so easily available in the market. So that's how we started, basically.
Wow. So it is actually very sweet. Like, one of your probably someone who came to a wedding, they have a tomato plant, and every time they see it, they remember you.
Yeah,
And it is such a positive impact on the environment as well. So, see, we understand that it's a seed paper business. So basically, whatever product you are offering, if we repot it, a plant grows out of it in the simplest manner, right? But so I would actually, so I have seen your products, but I think if you can just
thank
show
you.
us a few and just explain what exactly they do, then that would be great.
Sure.
I think people would be really interested in that.
Sure. So I'll show you some of our most popular products. So like
Yes.
this is a calendar. So this is a calendar that we recently made for Zomato. And
Okay.
so this is a seed paper sheet, which can be easily, so you can see the seeds over here. It has basil seeds and it has, yeah, sorry,
Yes.
wildflower seeds in the paper. And after the month is over, you can just simply tear the paper and wet it and just plant it in soil, just like regular seeds that you would do for any other regular seeds that you would just wet the paper and plant it in soil. All instructions and details are always mentioned on the back of our cards. So I'll just show you another one. So this is a wedding card. So these are some of these are again some of our most popular items because wedding cards are something that will always be thrown out. Nobody will keep your wedding cards at the end of the day
Yeah.
except you, your parents, the bride and the groom and the parents. So on just a minute. On most of
So,
on all of our cards, yeah,
Garima, we have a question. Is your paper calligraphy friendly?
yes, yes. I don't have a piece
Okay.
with me, but we've been doing a lot of calligraphy on this paper with some of our artists. And yes, it
So,
is
Kavi,
calligraphy
I
friendly
hope
because
you're,
this is cotton.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, Kavi is asking the question. I hope it's answered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please continue.
Yes, sorry. So this is instructions are always there on the back of the
Yeah.
paper. So all our cards have instructions on them on how to wet the paper and plant. paper. Um, so you can just simply follow those instructions and plant your papers at the end of the day. We're making a lot of items with it, we're making a lot of such Happy Diwali buntings. For Diwali specifically, we're doing Diwali cards. A lot of corporates are adding these Diwali cards to their Diwali hampers. And
Yeah,
again, so this is all plantable, and you can just package it
awesome.
like nicely like this, and just
Oh,
so
that's
these
cool.
cards can be
That's very
added
pretty.
to. Thank you. Right. So these cards can be added to hampers, and yeah, so these papers are artist friendly because they are cotton papers. As long as in even watercolors can be used with these papers. You can use different kinds of pens and different kinds of inks, and they don't harm the seeds at all unless you're like covering it up with a lot of chemical based ink, or you're doing commercial printing. So commercial printing doesn't work with this paper, like offset, something like that. Anything that involves pressure or heat or a lot of chemical application of ink on this paper. So those are some things that should be definitely avoided.
Okay. Also, so these papers are made up of what materials other than cotton?
Cotton.
Cotton seeds, that's it?
Yes, exactly. So they are 100% wood-free papers. So they're not just carbon neutral, they're carbon negative actually, because these are tree-free papers, which are made from waste material, which is upcycled, and then you add seeds to them, and then you like instead of papers are generally something that you take away from nature. Instead of that, you're adding to nature by planting extra seeds into the environment instead of taking stuff away from the trees and the wood and that is available in the environment.
Okay. So we have a question as a feedback. I absolutely love the cards, got them from Plantable. However, we had to plant a lot of cards before we sprouted out into plants. You just explain this, yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. So, uh, our generation has not had a lot of experience in growing a lot of stuff directly with seeds, and it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of time in growing anything directly from seeds. I got a set of basil seeds sometime like long back, and I tried growing basil plants out of that in my in my balcony, and it took almost 2 months for it to start sprouting and to give strong, robust basil plants out of it. But once it was set, it was like growing very beautifully. But it's just
Okay.
that it takes a lot of patience, and the it should not go dry. It should have a good amount of fertilizers added to it. Generally, what we're doing in our gardens and our balconies is we take already grown saplings and nursery plants from the nurseries, and we plant those.
True.
Directly growing it out of seeds is a very long process and needs a lot of patience also with it. So yeah, so it can, but we've had a lot of good response from these papers, not just in India, across the world, in terms of people growing wildflowers out of it, like celosia and marigolds, and brides and grooms sending us images of vegetables and herbs and basil growing out
Yeah.
of their wedding cards. So the response overall is good, but yes, it takes a lot of patience.
I'm sure because see, it's not just simply just wetting the paper and just putting it in soil. It that has to be a conducive environment for the seeds to grow. Definitely. I mean, it's quite fair, and I think yeah, people should take a note of that. Yeah, so coming back to the sustainable business, it has been a niche market. The reason is that sustainable products are still a little more expensive than the normal products because it is not yet completely mainstream. It has been a part of it. I mean, I have bought your products are quite reasonably priced. But saying that if you let's talk about sustainable, let's say fabrics, it is still, priced a little bit higher than the normal one. So, what do you think about it? How is the sustainable market growing? And what is your take on that?
Yeah, so I have a lot of confidence in the sustainable market and the entire revolution that's surrounding sustainability, not just in India, everywhere around the world. And I do believe that people who are aware of this thing and are conscious about the way they're consuming products, the way they are buying, the way all their actions that are with regards to consuming items directly, and so when they are shopping for these items, they are ready to pay that premium in exchange of reducing their carbon footprints, A, and also in terms of this just the sheer long-lasting aspect of these products. Because a sustainable product will definitely last you longer than a say fast fashion product, which will just um, go out of fashion very quickly, or the material will not be
True.
strong enough. The material will be a low quality material. If you're going in for, it's like an investment actually, is what I feel. Because if you're investing in something that is strong, sustainable, durable, then paying the premium is like it. It totally justifies itself basically at the end of the day because of the sheer
But do
life
you
of the item
see,
that you're purchasing.
but like, do you see the prices, streamlining once this becomes a niche product? Because
Yes, of
see,
course.
people definitely want to reduce their carbon footprints.
So it's like the saying is that you buy less, but buy wisely wherever you're
Yeah.
buying. Right. So you don't
So,
have to splurge when you're buying a sustainable item. You have to like be conscious of what you're purchasing and just invest consciously in whatever items that you are going in for. So at the end of the day, and also, most because this is becoming so mainstream, the prices are definitely coming down. Like most of our products,
yeah,
the initial idea behind launching Plantables was to make this eco-friendly and economical also, because it has to be pocket-friendly also. Because if it's not pocket-friendly, making that switch from a regular item to a sustainable item, it's very difficult to explain. It's very hard
yeah,
for you to convince, even if you are convinced that you want to go in for a sweet paper wedding card, it's difficult for you to sell that idea to your parents, who would be like,
true.
you'll get something much fancier, much grander at a lesser price.
Yeah,
So if the price is matching and it is sustainable and it is eco-friendly and conscious, like eco-conscious, so then the switch becomes easier and the threshold level goes down, and then more and more people are coming into the sustainability sphere as consumers, as aware, like consciously aware people
true.
who are like making
So
these
I
choices. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree because see, we are so used to the fast fashion, after the e-commerce businesses boomed in the last 10 years, that it is a little difficult to get back. So if you remember, like earlier when I was in school, I remember like when I was maybe 4, 5 years old, we actually used to take a milk to the milkman and get the milk. And then therefore, and after that, it just became easier and easier. And now, we have either milk in plastic or milk in bottles or, or the ready-made packets. So that's the transition that has been in the last 30, 40 years. Um, Saying that because of the e-commerce, we have been so used to the fast fashion. Now again, going back, slow down to purchase less but purchase wisely. But I feel it really is essential because even if you see the latest updates on the environment or the climate change, yeah, I think we need more businesses like you so that more, yeah, so people are more aware of the fact that you must do this even if it is at a slightly higher cost. So I completely agree
Awareness is
with you.
there. And also,
Yes.
if there are more and more options, if there are more and more people in the sphere, more and more players, the idea gets spread out faster, wider,
Yeah.
and it's like there are more and more people adapting to this change and supporting these
Yeah.
causes, supporting these businesses who are making these items available, and then it enables us to bring the prices also down. So then that
Yeah.
kind
There
of
are
escalates into making it available for more and more people. So that it's a cycle like that.
Yeah. So, but I feel, yeah, still, as you are not using trees, you are using the waste cotton and vegetable, the seeds and everything. It definitely something which goes to waste. You are using it and selling. So obviously it does make a difference. So yeah, so for people who want to get into this business, what strategies would you, I'm not asking you to, share all your IPRs, but what are the basic strategies which, they can also apply and they can get forward, get moving in this direction?
So the first step would definitely be to research as much as possible. Talk to as many people as possible who are already working in this sphere. Get the data of of the businesses who are doing this work and the kind of consumers who are making this shift, and then you can just start small. Just play around with some small items, do some participate in some exhibitions, make some small trade-offs. Work with some folks who are already making these things directly. So you can just so you can just directly start, uh, with a few small items and a few small products, just to test
Okay.
the waters and see what kind of audiences you're connecting with. It's also very important to see what kind of messages and what kind of stories that you're willing to tell, because there are a lot of people who are doing similar products. But the kind of stories that you're telling, the kind of content that you're putting out, the kind of products and the quality of products that you're putting out, that is very important. So also never ever compromise with the quality of the products and the services that you are rendering out, because at the end of the day, word of mouth is a very, very strong factor. And
Definitely.
that is something that can take you places, that can ruin you totally. Or so just be careful about the quality of stuff that you're putting out, um, the kind of communications that you're putting out. So you have to mind your language when you're talking to consumers and when you're talking to people. You have to be like conscious, aware, try to understand what the other person is um, you know
Mind your language as in,
trying to look for.
do you mean don't oversell your products or be very careful about what exactly you're selling? What do you mean by that?
No, just try and understand what the consumer is looking for and be more customer focused.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So you let
and
your
also
product speak for itself,
yes,
basically.
and also
Yes.
understand what folks are looking for, and then try and give them those kind of stuff things.
Okay. So for you, what would you say? What kind of marketing has worked best for you? Like exhibitions or online or or how do you like do a mix of all?
So being a relatively young business,
Yeah.
we have definitely grown out of the COVID years. So, we still cannot get out of the fact that 2 out of 3 of our first years were COVID years. So, definitely online has been a saving grace. Our biggest selling point has been our website, our Instagram page, our social media presence. So that has enabled us to connect with folks from over 30 countries around the world and not just India. And that has definitely opened up the market. That has helped us scale this brand from a small city and reach a global audience through our online presence, because
Yeah.
physical events only just opened up. It was not there for the past
True.
2 years, and we started out in 2018 December. So yeah, so online has definitely been a saving grace.
Okay, so I think yeah, that's the biggest tip she's giving for all the people who want to do this. And although physical exhibitions and all has opened up, I feel like online presence is really it's all about relevance nowadays. So lastly, Garima, a few words for all our entrepreneurs out here. What should they look out for in their journey, and what can make it easy? So what do you
Yes,
feel as?
nothing will ever make it easy, ever, because
True.
something or the other will always go wrong, and something or the other will always make you want to pull out your hair at the end of the day. But then again, it's a very interesting, very beautiful journey. And when you look at it, when you talk about it, when you're making something out of your using your sheer creativity with the people you love, you have a beautiful team with you who's helping you build that concept, that idea. It's quite rewarding at the end of the day, despite all the challenges that come with it. So just
So true.
like keep doing it wherever, just if you have that idea, if you have that vision, just keep pushing.
Yeah, so it's all about not just thinking, actually implementing. And that I feel that's a very big distance. We always keep on thinking, but to actually do it is not easy. Yeah.
So it's
So
important to
yeah,
have a good set
someone,
of people around you.
yeah, so true. Someone is asking, do you also make digital cards?
Yes, we do, of course,
Yeah.
because we are in the wedding market, so that's a given these days. That we do e-cards as well. Yes.
So all those who have joined us, please do go to Plantables store. You can just Google it, the first thing, and look for their products. And yeah, they are like, I think the gifting solutions for the Diwali is the like the earliest thing you can look out for.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank
Garima,
you.
thank you so much for your time, and it was really
Thank
great knowing you and your journey.
thank thank you, Ami. Thank you so much for having us here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye. Have a nice day. Thank you.
You too. Bye.